Let's talk about three simple words: red, yellow, and blue. We're going to dive into how these three colors are so much more than just colors. They're actually a secret language that we all understand, even if we don't realize we're speaking it.
It all starts with the sheer intensity of rye.
And then you have the bright energy of yellow.
And finally, the incredible depth of blue. Just these three, they're the foundational colors, the absolute building blocks of pretty much everything we see.
So you gotta ask, right? Why? How did these three very specific colors get so tangled up in how we see the world, how we feel, and even how we act? Well, to figure that out, we've got to start with the science.
Okay, first things first. Let's break down the fundamentals, just the simple, straightforward science of how a color gets from the outside world and into our brains.
In the world of art and design, paint, ink, all that stuff, red, yellow, and blue are what we call the primary colors. Think of them as the originals, the elemental building blocks. You can't mix other colors to get them, but you can mix them to get pretty much everything else. They are, in a way, the source code for the entire visual world.
And here's where physics turns into a feeling. It's actually a really simple process. Light bounces off something and zips into your eye. Then, these tiny little things called cone cells get stimulated by those specific light waves. And finally, your brain takes those signals and interprets them into what we experience as color. It's a pretty incredible journey from just a wavelength of light to a complex human perception.
But just seeing the color, that's really only half the story. The truly fascinating part is what our brains do with that information next. See, we don't just see colors, we feel them. So let's explore how these three hues got so wired into our deepest emotions.
Let's start with red. On one hand, it's the color of a Valentine's heart, right? It's passion, it's energy. But then on the other hand, it's a stop sign. It's a warning light. It's danger. Red basically screams, "Look at me," whether it's with love or with alarm. It's got this incredible ability to be both an invitation and a threat, sometimes at the exact same time.
And yellow, it's just as complex. It's the color of sunshine, pure joy and optimism. We see it and we think of warmth and hope. And yet, it's also the color of caution tape. You see, in nature, a bright yellow often means stay away. And culturally, it can sometimes be linked to things like sickness or cowardice. It's this wild mix of brilliant happiness and a very stark warning.
And then we have blue. It's the color of a calm sea or a clear sky. It makes us feel trust, stability, and peace. It's no wonder so many banks and big tech companies love to use it. But of course, we also talk about feeling blue when we're sad. It can represent coldness, a sense of distance and isolation. So you start to see the pattern here, right? No color has just one single meaning. Their real power is in this rich, emotional duality.
Okay, so we've got the science down and we've got the psychology. Now, let's look at how we've actually used these colors to build the world all around us, to literally construct the fabric of our cultures.
Seriously, once you start looking, you'll see this universal language everywhere. It's in our national flags, it's in the costumes of our superheroes, it guides us safely through intersections with traffic signals. It even defines entire artistic movements, like the bold, simple blocks of color in a Mondrian painting. It's all built on red, yellow, and blue.
And you better believe brands use this psychology masterfully. Color is their silent salesperson. Red is all about creating excitement and urgency for brands like Coca-Cola and Netflix. Yellow shouts optimism and clarity for places like McDonald's and IKEA. And blue conveys trust and dependability for giants like Ford and Facebook. None of this is an accident. It's all a very calculated choice designed to make you feel a specific way.
So we've gone on quite a journey here, haven't we? From a single word to the biology of our eyes, deep into our emotions, and all the way out into the vast world of human culture. Let's try and pull it all together now.
It's really pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. What starts as a simple light wave entering our eyes becomes a fundamental building block of our identities, our societies, and our art. Red, yellow, and blue. There's so much more than just colors. They are cultural cornerstones, they're emotional triggers, and they're the basic pigments we use to paint the entire story of humanity.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. Considering everything these colors represent, from passion to peace, from joy to warning, if you can only perceive the world through the lens of one of these three primary colors, which one would you choose? And maybe more importantly, why? What kind of story would your world tell?